Hey, this is Ace, here with my partner Dees, and this is About That Sports Life, where we talk about sports, life, and style. We got plenty to talk about today, so without any further ado, let's get right to it.
Back again, quick hits, Ace. Start with a little football.
Why not?
Big conferences doing their own thing at the college level. We all knew it was coming. It's been brewing this way. They ready to give out their compensation and going about their business and making millions and millions and millions of dollars. Billions. Because you figure you got elite conferences. They don't need everybody else. They don't need party crashers. You can take those 6 conferences or so and do your own thing. You don't need nobody. You can have your own March Madness. You know what? Everybody makes it. Because usually in most cases, those conferences, you got enough depth, and you don't even have to treat football and basketball the same way. You can just pull out as far as football.
That I think should have been done already. I think that a lot of the conference shuffling and all that should have been isolated to football. If that's what they want to do, as far as structuring their conferences, then that's what they want to do. I think it shouldn't have had an effect on the NCAA basketball game. But to your main point, as far as doing away with the NCAA, I'm not sure that college football ever does away with the NCAA. I think that what they do kind of forces the hand of the NCAA to compromise and lend more towards what they trying to do.
It could be the CFA, College Football Association. I think they dying. I mean, first of all, you got a rule book that's 1 million pages big, and
that's what I'm saying. I think that they're gonna have to trim that.
Legislating thing like donuts, like how much donuts you give a person, and how many. If they can have a croissant or not, or I mean, like at some point it's just ridiculous, and it's not about anything, and it's just more of an interference. And you know what? They need to go away. Let's get some new associations. Hell, let's get new political parties. We don't need no 2-party system. Let's take it there today. Like, let's just have everybody running for themselves. Let's see how that play out. You know, whoever got the best ideas and everything. Stop the TV commercials.
I don't know if this is my second mention
based on
of House of Cards already. If you ain't watching it already, you gotta watch it. But no, if you watch House of Cards, and you know that that's never gonna happen. It's not about anybody running for themselves or even caring about anything.
It's about the machine.
It's all about that money.
Keeping the machine going.
It's all about where the money going.
Keeping the machine going. All right, you know what? We got some time for football. This is all about basketball because they all about that life. Oh, no. We got to cover a little more football. Another quick one. Danny, the legend Marino. Now, I always heard he was a little special. But this move he made the other day, you know that's why his draft stock dropped. They say, you know, the people question his intellect. Like, hell of a football player, but, I mean, you joined the concussion joint. Now, you joined the lawsuit, but you didn't know you was part of the lawsuit.
Yeah, I don't get this at all.
And not 16 hours. Was it 16 hours?
Not even.
Pull out?
Yeah, I don't know what was really going on there. I don't know that I care to know what was going on.
And then he lost his gig. Like, it's a lot going on with him.
Yeah, he got a lot going on, but I think they need to go away for a little while, clean this situation up, work on that, and then come back and holler at him.
So now probably the Dolphins can't hire him this year. They gotta wait till next year to give him a gig. Like, he the ultimate figurehead, him and Allen Iverson.
Yeah.
You don't want him to say much. You don't want to make any decisions. You just sit him out there because the fans love him.
Fans love him.
So it's like, yo, we got our most beloved. They treat Dan like he went to the University of Miami. Like, that's how they love him down there. Like the Dolphins was a college, like, and they all went. Like, the locals just love. So he'll just give him a job, high 5 figures, and he just parade him around South Florida. And the Dolphins, they need some good press.
They need any type of good story.
Yeah, because they got tons of issues. All right, we running through these quick hits today. Philly Phil Mickelson. Now, I don't claim to be any golf expert.
I gotta say, we talking about golf.
We talking about bread. We talking about bread. 2 pieces, one on each side. Jelly, peanut butter, put together, make a sandwich. But not seriously. The SEC targeting Phil for no reason. When I really went and did some homework, this happened 3 years ago. They came at him right before he about to play a tournament, asking him questions about something that transpired 3 years ago with Carl Icahn and some gambler. That's what makes it weird. Some gambler, professional gambler from Vegas named Billy Walker, Billy Williams, Billy Turner, Billy the Kid. Like, the company he's keeping is like, that's what makes it a little nefarious. Like, whoa, what you doing, Phil? We thought Phil was the good guy, especially how they painted him against Tiger. Since they wanted to vilify Tiger, get all the info about all everything he's doing. Well, Phil out here making millions of dollars off the Clorox deal. And why you ain't share, bruh? I could have cashed out, trade a couple options on that Clorox. Things would be good now. The machine would be rolling right now, rolling. They probably did something, but they haven't been charged with anything. The SEC just targeted some names. It's a publicity stunt. It ain't even a witch hunt, because I don't think they're going to ever charge them. They got no proof, because the company who how they could follow Carl Icahn's phone records, he owns the company. So it's a conflict of interest, so nothing's going to happen. But Phil hanging out with professional gamblers and stuff like that.
Yeah, that sounds a little weird.
Obviously, him and Tiger a lot closer than everybody wanted to.
Keep your nose clean, Phil. Keep your nose clean out there, bro.
Yeah, that too. That's another subject.
Keep your nose clean out there, bro.
Hey yo, this gonna be the quickest quick hits ever.
Oh, let me I got a little something here. This goes out to all the New York fans out there. You can go ahead and tuck that Carmelo jersey in.
Tuck that in. Show the Gucci belt?
Tuck it in. Put the shirt on.
I thought you was tucking it in.
Tuck it in. I'm gonna give him a whole wardrobe change. It's gonna be a whole wardrobe change. We'll tuck that one in. You want to go ahead and take off that Yankee hat. Take it off. Put that away somewhere. Mets fans, I don't even know what we do.
Come on, pump your brakes.
I don't even know what we do. So let's not even talk about it.
Let's not make it personal.
Let's not talk about it. Jets, Giants, lead them jerseys home.
I beg to differ. Go ahead.
Let's go ahead and lead them jerseys home. It's time to finally cheer a winning franchise in New York. Let's say shout out to the New York Rangers. Stanley Cup Finals.
One every 20 years.
All y'all people that have absolutely no idea who's on the team.
That's a No who say that's one every 10 years. Yeah.
Let's just all you New York fans. All I'm asking is this: don't become hockey experts overnight. You don't know the players. Just don't act like you know the players. Just say
2 players, one on each team.
Just say go Rangers. That's all you gotta say. You good. You go.
Hey, yo, I wouldn't have really knew Lundqvist except for the commercial with the chef on the ESPN show.
Yeah, exactly.
He's like, that's blood court. I'm like, blood court doesn't sound appetizing at all.
I mean, there's few things in sports that create the type of excitement as a New York sports team competing for a championship. Let's be honest.
LA won.
Let's be honest. It doesn't even matter.
LA don't matter? That's what you're saying?
It doesn't matter who it is.
Oh, I thought you said LA don't matter.
The New York team compete for a championship. Nothing quite creates that type of excitement. So, kudos to the Rangers for actually bringing a good news story to New York. They had a bad year.
But it's just
hockey to the Brooklyn Nets.
Hockey is not an American sport, man. I know that original 6 and all that, but I mean, even people in the Northeast, man, like, we don't really. I mean, the hockey done been out of business twice. Nobody really cares. They have like it's a niche market, a niche sport. You have major networks that don't discuss hockey, like, and if they do, it's like really on the radio. They don't get any airtime, not on ESPN. They don't even on ESPN. They come on NBC Sports or something. CBS Sports. What is it? NBC Sports. Yeah, they like on the 3rd tier sports channel or something. Like, I mean, hey, I would love to be on the 3rd tier sports channel. However, what I'm saying, for a major sport, they definitely come up number 1. Hey, soccer may pass them soon. Soccer is the biggest sport worldwide. It's just not in America.
They might even pass them up in the U.S. already. Because I mean, there's a couple of them MLS teams that generate good.
Yeah, I'm gonna put in a thing. We're gonna talk a little soccer today. We're gonna get, because the quick hits went so quick. We're gonna throw in. We just threw soccer in. The World Cup is coming. We're getting Ace ready because he's gonna carry that thing. But soccer, the coach Klinsmann said the U.S. don't stand a chance of winning the World Cup. Is he just trying to lower the ball?
Definitely. I think that
Or I wouldn't want my coach saying we don't stand a
Yeah, but
chance.
this coach
What kind of
speak-
pep talk
this
is
kind
that?
of coach speak that throw it out there like, nah, we're no good.
Guys, just do your best.
I've seen Popovich say things like that. I've seen, some of the best coaches, right? They do that.
Not
from
Pop.
time to time.
I want some nasty Pop. that might be the most quotable quote ever.
Yeah.
Because I want some nasty. Yo, he changed the definition of nasty on that one. Like, yo, they got to show that too. What was that against when they came out? OKC came back in 4 games.
Yeah.
All right, we're not gonna talk no baseball. We got plenty. We got a month to kill with baseball, soccer. We just gave y'all hockey. We gave y'all what we could get y'all. Right? You want more hockey? What's his name with the slick back? Got the grease all in his head.
Oh, his name. Any other time I
Yeah, I
didn't
know
his
his
name.
name. Oh, it's gonna come to me. We're gonna be talking about something else, and it's gonna pop up. But yeah, him, that guy. The 2 players I know, Lundqvist and Quick, the 2 goalies. I don't know anybody.
Yeah, that goalie for the Kings is amazing. Though.
Quick, yeah.
If you ever watch him, actually, he's amazing.
So are we expecting local? Make a prediction. Just jump out there.
I'm going with. It's like if you want to root for it in New York, but I think you almost got to go with the Kings.
I live in Jersey. I'm a devil.
Yeah,
We got one franchise that
I gotta
claims
go.
us.
Right.
Yeah, I gotta go with the Kings just for the simple fact I've seen them go. That's the only guy I've seen
Yeah,
play,
last year,
and the
too.
goalie's amazing.
Yeah.
And he got a commercial.
And I don't see anybody scoring more than
It's true.
2 goals on the guy. Like, it's crazy.
Hey yo,
I've seen it.
you know what? Hockey should enact the rule, like regardless of who make it to the Stanley Cup Finals, they should be able to like draft some stars so everybody knows somebody. Like the Rangers should have been able to pick up like Sidney Crosby,
Okay.
and
A good
and the
endorsement.
Kings should have been able to pick up like Ovechkin or somebody, so we all know like somebody that's out there, and that'd be good for the game, like because they need some different rules like outside of normal.
What they
rules,
need to do is create stars. A lot of leagues lack the panache as far as creating stars, making stars out of their best players. Some of the best players have to be in the NHL right now that we don't know.
Right.
Because I mean, you can't tell me there's nobody good in the NHL.
No, it's gotta be.
We just don't know who they are.
Right.
That's like NBA. The NBA had to go through that too. Like Jordan, you know what? I even go back as far as Magic and Bird. They kind of started that, making themselves stars rather than you got the name on the front of your jersey, but they started showing the
The
name on the back.
NBA is just star dependent at this point.
At this point,
you gotta
yeah.
have some
It's
stars.
going to the
like-
point where now it's star dependent. You can't have a team without stars be successful. Last team like that, what you had to say was the Pistons.
Pistons with Rip Hamilton.
With Rip Hamilton, Ben
But even
Wallace.
that, like, could you imagine, like, if it was a Pacers Spurs, I would have been at the Future concert and not caring.
Yeah, I think
a bit
last
about
year
it.
you got to create them. So in a couple years, we won't mind seeing Paul George in the finals because he'll eventually be that star, hopefully. But
Somebody said, yeah, he's not there yet.
he's not there yet. But I mean,
I think it was somebody at the coach
he's
said
a
it.
very young player. He's overachieved.
Right.
But that's what people really
What if he
understand.
peaked?
That's possible, but I'm not gonna say that.
I don't know. I'm
not
looking
gonna-
at what he could have peaked. Yo, he was first of all, he wasn't one of them highly recruited, so we don't know how high the ceiling. People look at your vertical and say, "Oh, the ceiling is here." I remember the self-proclaimed Baby Jordan. Your ceiling ain't
Yeah, but-
necessarily there
See,
because you're vertical.
these are things that weren't proved on the court.
Right.
Paul George has proven on the court that he has
to an
superstar
extent.
And he
talent.
hasn't
To what
done-
extent? The Eastern Conference Finals?
Stars
2
don't
years in
go
a row?
on no 40-game log.
That's
went on a 30-game low.
That's why he hasn't peaked because he hasn't
That's what I'm saying.
Right.
He has to break through these
Right.
points. Jordan went to the finals, went to the Eastern Conference Finals. How many times before he was able to break through? Let's get
Yeah,
him
but he
in.
was still putting up 63.
We're not
Paul
talking-
George was getting 1 point to the fourth quarter. He
then-
might be at his ceiling. I'm not certain. I hope he proves me wrong. It's bad for the NBA if he is. But
I
he
don't
could
think
be
so.
at
I
his
don't see it.
ceiling.
I think there's a lot of things he can work on.
He could be at his ceiling.
No, we said
There's
it's
been
bad for
other
the
players.
NBA.
If he doesn't reach, no, it is.
So the
When
NBA
young
is fine.
talented players don't advance and don't progress, that's not good for the NBA. LeBron is not playing forever. They learned that with Mike. Their ratings went down 50% when Mike left.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
That's
They-
bad. They need young players developing and growing. They need
I agree
Wiggins
with
to
that.
come in and be a player. They need Parker to come in and be a player.
They
And
need
be-
love in the major market. Shout out to his visit to Boston
We saw that.
this past weekend. I see you.
Shout out to Bomani Jones and take this. No town will love like Boston, and I'm gonna
Absolutely.
leave it at that.
Absolutely.
And
Did
y'all
you
can
hear what the
infer
coach said, though?
what you would like
The Milwaukee
from
Bucks
that.
coach said. He said he's still under contract. He can go and visit but he's not going anywhere.
He don't play for the Bucks.
No, Timberwolves. Sorry, Timberwolves.
They gotta say that. They can't say, yeah, we're trying to get rid of him. They can't say that.
But
Excuse me.
no team. I want Kevin Love, and he belongs in Boston.
I thought he would be nice.
Historically, that's where he should be.
I think he does too.
He ain't gonna take nobody no chip.
We're in absolute.
They should have been better than they were this year, to be honest. He's not a leader.
I don't honestly. I don't think it's now.
You Larry Bird nostalgia.
him
Oh, I'm
not-
sorry, people. We done jumped all in our topics. We NBAing right now.
Him not being a leader is fine because we already got a leader.
It's everything
We got a
NBA.
leader already, and I don't think that you can put
Hey, you got folks up there calling him Ray Jean, man.
How long did they mess up Kareem's name? How long did they mess up Kareem's name?
It's Blackley.
Exactly. So,
Oh God, it would be a good.
Please send Kevin Love to Boston.
Yeah, it would be nice.
Just for the
seems like
historical sake.
it seems like it's
I was
just meant to
happy
be.
for you. I
It
didn't-
seems like it's just meant to be, but we'll see. You know, things that's meant to be rarely, to me, happen in Boston. It doesn't ever
Kevin
work out.
Love just using that as leverage. He a California boy.
Yeah, exactly.
He California dreaming. His girlfriend's an actress. The Lakers got dibs.
Lakers have nothing to give.
Clippers got 7 years to be in Seattle.
Lakers got nothing
What's
to
this
give.
little Clipper
Yeah, I
run
can see. I can definitely see him much more in
In the Boston hole.
No, in either Golden State or Sacramento. I can
Boston
see-
State, but I mean Golden State has pieces.
Yeah, I can see him either
So
one of
good.
before. They're ahead of us. Peace wise. If
If y'all don't get Love, y'all gotta dump Rondo.
Unless
Rondo must go.
Love says I'm not gonna re-sign with one of these teams, they have an advantage trade-wise over us.
Okay.
We just don't have the pieces to offer. We have the picks. You want picks? You try to rebuild your team. We who you want to see. 10 picks in 5 years. We good.
Yeah, y'all got a bunch of picks.
But if you're trying to win now, pair some stars up with Rubio, we just don't got that for you.
Right.
Jeff Green and Sullinger not gonna get it. So it's not gonna happen. I mean, I'm being honest. That's
now
what
Jeff Green's a great number 3 option.
people like to throw out that I'm not objective. Certain people, but
You're
I'm
not in a lot of cases.
I'm absolutely.
You're trying to be
honest.
right now. You're working at it.
I'm absolutely
You're
honest.
working at it. I'm just prepping for the future concept. Yo, something you said though, I want to go back. I think the Lakers gonna be better than I thought. If they draft Marcus Smart and they get Luau Deng, bring Pau Gasol back
not
at a
bad.
discounted rate.
I don't think Pau Gasol comes back either.
I think he does because they got rid of D'Antoni. They're not gonna be. I don't know. D'Antoni wasn't running no offense. He had nothing going on out there.
No, I don't know
He
what
was just
doing.
cashing checks.
Yeah, I'm not sure what the Antonio.
He just can't. Yo, he should have got an apartment. He should have never, unless he planned on just L.A. and California is gonna be his permanent residency. D'Antoni should have just got an apartment and stayed wherever, Arizona, wherever he had his residence at. Because I mean, he was out there just. I could have done that. Just roll the ball out. You got Kobe. You had Kobe and Dwight Howard and was the 8th seed, and Pau Gasol.
Crazy.
And even a better Steve Nash. But then the next year when you got nothing, you really played like you had nothing.
Yeah.
He was like the 13th seed out of 15, and yet, man.
But we'll see. I mean, the Kevin Love saga, I think it's just beginning. But I think it's going to come to a head at the draft. Either we're going to see something happen at the draft, or we're going to know who's out of it at the draft.
Shout out to the Cavs, though. They might get it right. They talking about taking Wiggins. That's the pick. Move on. As the president of the LeBron James fan club, move on. It's not, there's zero chance he leaving Utopia.
I still say take Embiid. Even if you're moving on without LeBron, I think you take Embiid, man. You get that big man as the cornerstone of your franchise, and you
So you think it's 80s basketball. Big man don't matter no more in this basketball.
Did you watch Embiid
Chris
play?
Bosh is playing center.
Did you watch Embiid play?
I've seen him, but
He's not your traditional big man.
Yeah, we see how well he develops the book. You take Wiggins, you take the athlete, because still you got Kyrie, so he doesn't have to be your number one option. You still got Tristan. You bring Varejao back at a discounted rate. He get you 10 and 10, and he can run the floor, defense.
For how long?
Another few years. He only about 30, 31, 32. Yeah, 3-4 years. Be another big man coming. The class of 2017 is coming, people. I do my homework. Class of 2017 is coming. That's when all the big men, Thon Maker, Harry Giles, all of it. But y'all will hear about that. Catch up. I'm next year. So I'm telling you, they making the right move. You take Wiggins. You take the athlete. You got Kyrie pushing the ball up, and you just throw it up there and you let him go get it. If you take Embiid, you still got the void. Unless you bring in Lou Deng back, their biggest void has been, what, a 3. Why were they talking about taking out a quarter so much?
Well, I'm saying you can get a 3. You can get that. You can't
Draft
get another
3.
Embiid. You don't have to draft a 3.
You can't get another Wiggins. He jumped like over my
They
head.
don't need a Wiggins. They don't need that. That's not
What do they have? That was their biggest need. They don't need a center. They may want one because he's gifted. What they need is a 3. That's been their biggest need.
But you can get a 3. You know how many?
You can't get a Wiggins.
There's a lot of talented 3s. You go get Rudy Gay to go give you.
He's a loser. You don't want to give Rudy Gay. He's been a loser everywhere he went. Every team got better after he left. The proof is in the pudding. Memphis traded him where? Toronto. What happened to Toronto when they traded him to Sacramento? They went to the playoffs, made a good run. What happened to Sacramento? They stunk more. Rudy Gay's a loser. He don't have a heart to be that kind of dude. He has all the ability, but he's not that dude. You don't trade for Rudy Gay.
You got money,
keep
right?
him.
Go pay Carmelo. What you say about that?
First of all, ain't nobody going to Cleveland. You act like Melo's gonna be like, I'm gonna turn down all this money from Chicago, New York, and Los Angeles to go play in Cleveland. I'm sorry, did LeBron decide to go back to Cleveland? Because I'm trying to understand the allure for Carmelo to go to Cleveland. He'd take less and go to Miami first
I'm
before he go
saying
to
there's
Cleveland.
plenty. My only point is that there's plenty of free agents, small forwards that you can acquire. You can't acquire
You name
another
losers.
Embiid. You can't acquire another Embiid.
Carmelo's not going because Cleveland's not that market. You can't really acquire a Wiggins. You have to draft a Wiggins.
And Wiggins not really good.
Name a Wiggins type player
that's
that's
an NBA 3 anyway. I think he's more of a 2 in the NBA.
He's 6'8".
Kevin Durant is 6'10". What are you saying?
He's a 3. NBA is positionless basketball
Exactly.
now.
He plays the 2 position.
Well,
that's what he's going to play.
he can be one of your first 5 in the game, whatever team he goes to. I just don't want to see him get lost out in Milwaukee. I'd rather Embiid get lost.
I want him in Philadelphia.
Let Embiid
I think
get out.
Philadelphia is perfect.
I think Parker locked into that 3.
No.
I don't think I think Parker's the most NBA ready offensively, and Philly really needs him more than that. Because Philly has good role play. Carter Williams, great defensively, long, length, not really a scorer. Nerlens, what do you think Nerlens going to bring? Defense. They need somebody to get buckets. And if y'all make the mistake and draft Doug McDermott, hoping he becomes Larry Bird, you're going to be stupid. Take Stauskas if you really want somebody that can shoot and fill it up. Take McDermott, y'all going to be watching because he can't stick me out there.
You definitely got to hide him defensively. I'm not going to.
Yeah,
you got to hide him.
You hide him on the bench.
No, you can hide. There's ways to hide guys.
The boy name came out of Gonzaga a few years ago. The porn star mustache.
Morrison.
Yeah. He's a poor man's Morrison. I would take Morrison before him. I think Morrison had a little more than Dougie McBuckets.
We'll see. Obviously, we're going to see.
Man, 4-year players always look good in college. Man, he's not that dude. If he was that dude, he would have been gone as a sophomore. He's been scoring 20 points for a couple years now. Come on, man. He's slow of foot. That lateral quick, you can't make up for certain things. Hopefully Parker can if he gets in better conditions.
I don't think Parker's ever going to make up for that, but there's other ways
better.
to play defense than lateral quickness. It's not just.
I mean, to me, that's still Carmelo's problem. You don't have to be
he's not
great laterally.
aware enough to know that there's other ways to play defense.
But I think
that's Shane Battier. Shane Battier's not the quickest lateral.
No.
He knows how to play
Anticipates
defense.
and things like that.
You
and helps
learn
out
how to play defense.
shit. But I think Philly is a great space for Parker. Because with a Nerlens and a Michael Carter, yeah.
The reason why they're in a can't lose spot is because they have Michael Carter Williams and they have Nerlens around.
So that's defense right there.
They're in a can't lose spot. But I still
need somebody
I think
some buckets.
you get Wiggins in a wide open offense like that, you getting buckets from them. If you get Wiggins in a wide open, but
Wiggins is not last in the 3.
That's why I was about to say that he's made a good point. He doesn't make it to 3.
And Embiid either. Parker's locked in at 3. Let's just move forward amicably.
Well, I can agree with that because
Parker's a lot
you can't really pass up on
because of
his
their
woman.
athleticism.
Yeah,
And they
you
have
can't.
specialness. Parker's a great basketball
And the
player
serious
now.
is much
yes,
higher.
but Parker is going to be what Parker is. Like, we don't know what Wiggins could become, and that allure is going to make him go earlier.
Especially Wiggins.
'Cause we
That's
look
why I
at
think
Parker
he
as
does go
kinda
number
finished.
one, just because it's so hard to say, all right, I'm going to take another guy, and then 5 years down the road, 5 years down the road, when Wiggins is what he's going to be, you're looking back and saying,
You know what? People aren't really.
you feel
know
like
what?
Portland. You're going to do a Portland.
You know,
we're going to call
Park-
that a Portland. From here on out, that's called a Portland.
Portland.
It's called a Portland.
You know what? Parker, as much as I love Jabari Parker's game, he reminds me of a highly skilled Billy Owens. Where Billy Owens was there already. So Billy Owens was at his ceiling. Parker's one thing he has in his favor is getting in better conditioning. But I think Parker could come in from Duke and get the same 20 points in the NBA.
Yeah, which is a lot of teams
Yeah,
need right
it's
now.
just about conditioning,
Consistent.
doing the other things to be
Right.
consistent
Right.
throughout a year. But he's like a Billy Owens, but more polished offensively. But that's like Parker not gonna get much. Like, it's not a lot for Parker to do. Like, oh my God, he's gonna be much better. No, he's gonna get in better shape.
Right, 'cause
so
he
from
is-
20,
he
he
is
might go to
better.
23,
I just feel like,
exactly.
I think
He's like-
almost the perfect comparison is Carmelo because he is so deceptively athletic as well. I think that's underestimated. His deceptive
He's
athleticism.
light on his
Melo
feet.
can jump.
Because Melo looked the same way. Melo looked soft coming out, like his body looked soft. He didn't look like he worked out or nothing.
Yeah, now he ate donuts.
But then he'd dunk on you,
Yeah.
and you be.
But he ain't
But
donuts.
Parker does
We
the
knew
same
he ate
thing.
donuts though. And Parker eats donuts.
But he got bigger.
He's from Chicago.
Yeah.
You know Parker eats pizza, deep dish. He get it in.
But if you looked at him in high school, like he definitely got bigger. He had to find a way to tone.
Well, his senior year, you got to put an asterisk because he had broke his foot. So all he did was eat
True.
pizza and donuts all off season.
But he's good.
That's why he didn't look as good
Right.
his senior year as he did
No,
his junior year.
I'm a fan of Parker's game. I'm a fan of Wiggins' game.
I want all three to do
And
well.
I just love
Yeah,
how
it was
things have
nice.
evened out because it was such it was such a side of people that wanted to go with Parker's so much better than Wiggins. And then by the time the season evened out, the numbers were so close.
Right. We didn't know this.
It was like it was
to the
just,
naked eye.
But just
you
as
know
a
what?
basketball player, he is better than Wiggins.
He is
Right now.
skilled, more
But
skilled.
Wiggins has some specialness with his athleticism that
and his but what
it
people
opens the door
fail
to be
to
like,
realize
and he developed, he got better throughout the year.
His fast
he wasn't the
development
same.
is also that's special.
And he's a
not,
kid.
Not everybody learns
He's
that.
only supposed to be a
not
senior in
everybody
high school.
learns. Okay, I'm figuring this out as I go along, and
Right.
he figured it out right in front of us.
Right.
He went from I can't average more than 15 points a game to I'm getting
And-
20, 30
Beauty
points.
of
And the
it.
NBA may fit his game where it's more wide open,
Which
it's
y'all
more
talked about.
one-on-one.
And his defense.
There's no zone.
His defense.
Defense going to make him special
His
at that level.
defense.
Can I ask this question? 'Cause don't you think it is not much of a coincidence, but how important do you see the connection from the draft that was 30 years ago around this time?
Talking about the 84 draft?
Yeah.
This draft ain't that draft.
Nah, this is
No,
not
no,
doing
I'm
too
just saying
much.
the top three. I'm
Nah,
just saying, what do you see?
I don't see the same specialness out of these players. I don't see the same long term. It's funny.
You got 5 Hall of Famers out of 80.
Yeah,
So
but you do got the
Ain't no foul.
Embiid.
No, I
It's like
didn't-
Embiid
I
can
know.
be compared in some ways to
What
Olajuwon.
can happen is that it's never been a top 3 in any draft that all became all-stars. Because every draft had a hiccup.
Yeah. There's no hiccup in this.
2003
I don't see
had
hiccup in this.
Darko.
Yeah.
That was the hiccup. If not for Darko, those first 4, LeBron, Carmelo, Wade, and Bosh.
Right.
You could argue that that's the best draft ever. You could get 4 Hall of Famers out of that draft. Darko was the hiccup. And they probably don't have another Hall of Famer unless West just continues with longevity and lands on one of those teams that wins multiple championships. Then West could make an argument. There's no one else there. 84, 5 Hall of Famers, and they all didn't go early. You got like a Stockton late.
Spread out, yeah.
So if they can find somebody in this draft late,
I think, but this is the draft where I think that there are several players that are going to go later in the lottery, even outside the lottery.
there's a
that
lot
I
of
think they're
depth.
gonna
It might
much
not
better.
be stars, but there's a lot of depth.
This is a deep draft. I think that's
There's
what
players that are going to contribute that's going to be like 21.
You got a guy like why can't I think of? It's gonna kill me.
Shabazz Napier?
No, I was about to
Lee
say
Anthony?
No, from UNC.
Oh, McAdoo?
The one that didn't play this last year?
Didn't play this year.
can see his face. I can see
Yeah, I
his
can
face.
see it and everything. I just can't think of his name right now.
It'll come to me, but I know who you're talking about.
That kid, I mean,
PJ Harrison.
PG Harrison
Yeah.
can be a really
He can
good
fill it
player,
up.
just as good, if not better
And
than a
because
lot
of
of these
his
linemen.
issues,
He slipped.
he's going lead.
He's a guy that can get on in the right situation.
Right.
Where you all you ask him to do, get some buckets. He's gonna be picking later, where he might be on a better team, a la Danny Green,
Right.
and get there and get some buckets.
Danny Green, he finally developed. Hey, excuse me, I remember him from the Cleveland days. That's all.
Yes, I know.
He finally developed.
But and
College,
getting on a
though.
better team and showing what he can do.
Right.
And I think that's a guy.
The white
And system
environment
fit.
fits.
You can't underestimate system fits.
That's what we say. The environment
System
is very
fits
important.
means a lot. Like
Yeah, absolutely.
you find a system
That's why I think
that
a
you
lot
fit well
of
in. Like
is lacking in a lot of these. Like that's why you get a lot of kids that come out. Oh, he's a bust. These kids aren't really bust.
that's in the wrong
They're
system
not
that
there.
doesn't fit it. Maybe it's somebody in his position that's better than him.
Wait, let's move on a little bit. Let's talk about, of course, the matter at hand, the NBA Finals.
We want to go there. We want to finally bury. Is Sterling dead to us? Can we say he's dead?
I just
he said it's all good and gave us the thumbs up today. Can we
Yeah,
move on?
exactly. He
And
dropped
he
the
gave a
lawsuit.
wink on the bad eye.
He dropped the lawsuit.
He said it's all good.
He dropped the lawsuit. He approved the sale.
Hey,
He's
yo.
officially out of the NBA. I think we can go ahead and bury.
Hey yo, I will say this. I will say this.
So he does.
I'm about to call him and Shelly genius. You know why? Because after all of this, teams valued at $700 grand, roughly.
Right.
They sold the team for $2 billion. After taxes, they clearing double what the team's value was. So what they take home at the end of it is double of the team's value. I would have gave you the thumbs up and the wink and the gun too. You couldn't have planned it no better.
He wasn't even trying.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm trying. I'm about to call conspiracy. I'm sorry. It's just my nature. I'm about to call conspiracy.
It's too good to be true.
How does everything work out this way from that? That's all I. Ace, can you help me? How does everything work out that way from that? From where we were. He couldn't have planned. They couldn't have
All I
planned.
can say is this doesn't feel like a punishment. It doesn't feel like karma to me.
Yo,
It doesn't feel like
they
karma.
talking about dementia. I know drunk slur when I see it. When he gave him the wink and the gun and the thumbs up, he had been tossing cocktails back. He sounded like 5 Long Island iced teas. That's what he sounded like to me. I didn't hear dementia. He said it's all good. That meant that fire water was running through him. That's what he had.
So
3
he
fireball
wakes up.
shots at the Long Island. He was ready. So Sterling's dead to us. We can move on to the matter at hand. Finals.
Finally,
Just
rematch.
make your pick.
The rematch.
Get all that. Make your pick.
As I've been saying
Make
all
your
along,
pick.
I can't pick anything until I see game 1.
Yeah.
I can pick everything.
I need to see what my reason behind that.
Do that at.
I need to see.
No, you got the, you playing analyst now. You got to humor me. What is your pick?
That's what you guys are.
Give me a
I don't
pick.
have a pick. I can't. I don't even have a gut feeling about this finals. I really don't. I honestly don't. Like I said, I got to see what LeBron looks like out there.
He's finally conceded to LeBron's greatness.
Yeah, I mean.
Miami in 6.
All right, quickly. I know. We've been a little bit long-winded today, but I'm gonna go ahead and say, I think I've said it already. LeBron is the best small forward to ever do it. Period. At this point, you gotta give it to him. And also, he is probably one of the top 5 or 10 best players to ever play in the NBA. Period.
Larry Legend
And
rolling over in his cheap suit.
I'm gonna go ahead and say that. Larry can't compete with what's going on right now. Larry can't compete.
He's not athletic enough. I don't think his game transfers to any era. He's not one of those players.
No, I'll disagree with. I think Larry could play in any era.
I think, yeah, but do you think he'd be Larry Legend in this era?
I think in any era. I don't think everything's the athleticism, as we already know.
You know,
is not the
basketball
end-all, be-all.
acumen
It's not the end all
means
be-all.
a lot. But they always talk about how rough and different it was.
Paul Pierce showed us that you can be.
The defensive schemes weren't as sophisticated then as they were now.
I think he figured it out. I've seen.
He figured it out.
He figured it out. I mean, you're talking about
Bill
Larry
Russell would
Bird.
be great now too with his
Right,
6'8" self.
He still be a good.
He's smaller than LeBron.
I'm not really getting what's
Yo,
going
man,
on.
because your green is dripping all out of your hands.
Because I'm telling you, because I'm saying that Bill Russell would be tried.
I think Kareem as a big man would translate. I think Chamberlain would translate. I respect Bill Russell. He got caught carrying the gun. I ain't heard nothing else about
Bill
it.
Russell was special.
Gotta respect that.
We're talking about a
That's
guy who would start breaks off block shots. We're not talking about your average NBA player. We're not talking about just your average 6'8" guy. We're talking about somebody that was special. So yeah, I think that Bill Russell could still play. But I mean, as far as this series, I think that you could make arguments either way. But I feel like the one thing that nobody else on the planet has is a LeBron. So I won't be able to tell you how I feel about it until I see what LeBron looks like against that Spurs defense. Period.
All right.
Like kryptonite.
He's 6. I hear all that you say. He's 6.
I do think it's 7 games.
I don't even think it's LeBron. I think the fact that Wade is healthy.
But I think Wade's
that matters.
I think we're gonna see a different Wade in this series.
And I think we're gonna see a different ball. I think this may be the series. And you know what? When it all first started, I said the first round would be 4, the second round would be 5, then 6, then 7. But as we get there, I get excited as a fan, and I jump over. But it probably will go 7. But in my heart of hearts, I would just love to see a 5 game. I would just love to see a thrashing, because I think they will finally get the respect they deserve. Like, you still have people arguing their legitimacy as
they're the underdogs in this.
But I think that's
I think
it's
a 4-1 thrashing.
It's a legitimate argument to argue their dynasty. They haven't won 3 yet. You got to win.
But they've been to 4.
But you got to win that 3rd.
Y'all didn't win 3 out of those 4. When y'all went with Bird to those 4, y'all won 1 earlier, and then y'all came back and got 2 of those 4.
Still
but
won
Boston
3
was
though.
a dynasty.
You gotta win
so
at least
3 in total.
Yes,
That's
like
the
the Spurs
that's
did.
the parameter.
The Spurs ever even went back
Pistons
to
aren't a
back.
dynasty.
Yeah, I'll give it.
They won 2.
I'll give it the Heat cannot.
They won 2.
Okay, I
You
understand
just
what
threw
you're
your whole
saying.
argument out the window.
I understand what you're
Window
saying.
open, argument out.
Let me finish. The Pistons, in my opinion, did it differently than how the Heat did it. So if we're talking about a team that was built to win championships, then we're talking about a team that was built from the ground up to be a great team. Because that's 2 different things.
I think you're playing with words right now.
No, I'm saying
if you're building a great team, what's the goal?
Wade, LeBron came together to do what?
Yeah, but nobody.
They didn't come together to be a great team, to be a dynasty. They came together to win championships. Period. That's the end of the sentence.
But that's what everybody is trying to.
No.
So other people just came together to be competitive?
To be a great team for an organizations build teams to sustain. After LeBron leaves, what happens to Miami Heat?
But if he don't leave for a decade, team lasted that long.
I understand.
San Antonio's been the only team to sustain for that length of time.
Perfect example. Talking about a team that's sustained greatness.
They got lucky at the behest of the Celtics, because y'all was supposed to get Timmy D, and that ain't worked out. And that's why Rick Pitino said Larry Bird is not coming through that door. They got lucky. If David Robinson don't get hurt that year and they don't lose the Admiral, they're not in position to draft him.
That happens to so many teams.
Okay,
so why even say? Like that's just how it works.
Again, don't fight it and it won't hurt, because players had the chance to say, we're going to do this. We're not going to be a commodity. There's so many layered dynamics to this whole thing. We're going to have to table that part of it for another time.
I don't necessarily like it, but I didn't say it was wrong.
I'm not saying wrong or right. I'm saying it's hard for people to wrap their minds around it still.
No.
Yes, because you just delineated the 2. You just broke it down and made it different. You said they put teams together to be great. They came together to win championships.
So a team that builds itself through the draft and a team that builds itself through free agency, you don't think there's a difference?
Detroit didn't build through the draft. They went out and got Rick Mahorn. They traded for Mark Aguirre. They traded for Bill Laimbeer.
Trades and draft. That's the typical way you build a team.
Okay. Or free agency. Free agency is something of this era. So you're just making a distinction between the era, but the ultimate goal was always championships. Detroit didn't come together and say we're going to chill and be competitive.
No, they
want to win.
To be a great team and win multiple. I get what you're saying, but it's a difference. You don't want to see it because you're a Heat fan.
No, I'm being honest. I'm a LeBron fan. If LeBron leave tomorrow, I'm going to get a different jersey.
Your LeBron jersey.
So let's just keep it 100. I'm a LeBron fan, but what I'm saying is the end goal is always the chip.
They're not considered a dynasty.
People aren't comfortable with it.
No, they're not considered
That's
a
all,
dynasty.
because you're not comfortable with it.
No.
Not because they're not doing it.
Considered a dynasty. It's just simple as that.
And
who do you know
that's why they need to win?
Who besides you and that don't live in Miami considers the Heat a dynasty?
Why though? Now
because of what I just explained to you, you don't want to listen. You don't want to hear that.
Well, I've never seen a distinction so minute when it comes to basketball.
What's the difference between a soldier and a mercenary?
I don't know. They both killers.
We talking about the difference between a soldier and a mercenary, an army and a sellsword. That's what we talking about the difference between. These that come together to just our goal. We're not a team. We're 3 individuals, and we're gonna win the chips. That's what they did.
But they're the ultimate team, though.
I think that was their intention, but they grew into.
I'm not telling you. What I'm saying is how they came together.
Yeah,
We're 3
I agree
individuals, and we're gonna win a chip.
But now they see it as this, right.
We're not. They weren't even really the Miami Heat. They were way LeBron and boss. That's what they were.
I understand.
Now they see themselves as a team. Like
I'm not saying they don't. I'm saying that's not how they came together.
Yeah, no, I agree.
That's not how this thing got started. So
yeah, their conversation wasn't about that.
That's why they have to win those. Not 3, not 4, not 5, not 6. They have to do that.
They show you how deep it runs, boy. Because y'all break it down in 10. This is deep. This the psychosocial dynamic behind this whole. Yo, I can't wait till the 30 for 30. I can't wait for the books. This is beautiful. This is gonna feed us for the next 30 years. This is so rich. It's so rich. It's such a breakdown, such a microcosm of American culture right now. This is lovely. Why? Because the commodity. I won't use other words that might offend people. Because they said we have power now. And because of that power, we're going to use that power in a way that ownership always had.
Which is cool.
People have been comfortable with ownership doing that.
Okay, but when you do that, when you make that distinction and that change, understand you're going to be judged differently.
Okay.
I just understand.
And that's why they can win 4-1.
All right, let's do it.
Let's do it.
Let's see them do it.
Let's go. We about to get close to closing. We done made predictions. Ace made none. I said 4-2. Now I'm saying 4-1.
No, he did make a prediction.
What was
He
it?
said he definitely knows they're going 7.
I said 7.
Doesn't know who's going to do it.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
I don't. These teams are too evenly matched.
Yeah.
For me to say, oh, one team's gonna blow. What would cause the Heat or the Spurs to blow out one or the other? What's gonna cause that?
Somebody
Where does that happen?
Tony Parker injury.
Yeah,
and
somebody's
Dwayne
getting
Wade being
hurt.
healthy.
A Dwayne Wade injury and Tony Parker being healthy.
That was last year, and it swung. First 5 games, Parker healthy. San Antonio up 3-2. Last 2, Parker not so healthy. And even then, San Antonio was there. They was at the cusp. They breathed it. And Rashard Lewis is healthy. They couldn't use him. He has another 6'11" presence up front.
Which is
so he defends better.
So we'll see how that looks. We'll see how that looks.
It's gonna look good. It's gonna be beautiful at the end.
We'll see how that
My
looks.
suntan lotion ready. We gotta give you a little about that life, because Ace is trying not to be about that life right now.
Oh, not.
But nah, Josh Gordon, my man. You fooled me. I see you on TV. You articulate. You look like you got it all together. You've overcome your situations. Moving forward. Progressing. Then what you do? We find out, bang, draft Johnny Football. Happiest day in Cleveland in the last 5 years. Next day, saddest day. Josh Gordon facing a year-long suspension.
Again.
Yeah, again. And then, not a few weeks later, you get caught speeding, and allegedly, your man got weed in the car.
All right, see, here's the thing about this. This is why Josh Gordon not about that life. This is why. This is the point to it. The suspension was looming. It hadn't been decreed, oh, you're gone for a year. It was looming.
And you still.
We're talking about marijuana. With the new agreement, the NFL has agreed to be more lenient with marijuana. So it was a chance, a slim chance. I'm not saying it was
Get that down to 6 games.
a slim chance that he might have played this year. They might have reduced that. And then you go out and do that. You know this, though. That's what I'm saying. This is not some secret. This is common knowledge. You know that it's a chance you might get a reduced punishment. And you go out and you get pulled over, driving while intoxicated or under the influence, whichever one the designation is. I'm not 100% sure. And you got your friend who can't possibly be your friend, for real, if you want to really be serious. And he got,
unless he just holding that weight for him.
unless he took the charge, let's say that. But at the same time, he's got weed on it. It doesn't make any. Josh.
I'm not certain I would have took the charge for him, because there ain't no certainty he gonna play.
Josh.
So,
No, he's definitely gonna play. Josh, this is why. you are potentially
the best receiver in the game.
One of the best receivers. He's definitely not better than Megan. There's nobody there.
Not better than who?
Than Megan. It's not possible. Not right now.
Yeah, he was slowing down a little bit.
Nah. He's hurt.
Josh
He
only
was
played
banged up.
14 games.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying.
Josh only played 14
That's what I'm talking
games.
about. See, yeah, this is me going off on a tangent again. Greatness can only become the true greatness that it is when it has somebody nipping at his heels. Iron sharpens iron. I don't think Megan's ever going to be as good as he can be without a Josh
Gordon. A little LeBron or something going on.
Without a Josh Gordon or somebody there to challenge him, because Megatron's coasting. He knows nobody is close to him, and he knows that these defenses can't
they got to get another ball out there in Detroit this year because they done added some people.
Yeah.
Golden Tate and Ebron. Like
either A, they gonna get really good with ball distribution, or B, it's gonna be a problem. But let's not.
Megatron don't seem selfish. Yeah, let's get back to Josh because he's not about that. It's not about that.
Let's not. Josh Gordon, you had the opportunity to be 1 or 1A. You know, you had that. It was there. You saw the talent was there. It was you produced on the field. This is why I know he's definitely going to play again. It's not. This isn't the last we're going to see of him. If somebody takes a chance on this guy, but you really pissing away an opportunity at being one of the greats and getting a lot of bread too. You know, you just lost about $25 million off rip, and I'm just saying that plain and simple, off rip. At least $25 million right there out the window.
Yeah, man, you need a new circle. Come holler at me.
That's what it is. Another one in. Ace and Dees, About That Sports Life, where we cover sports life and style. Visit us on the web, aboutthatsportslife.com, or email us at aboutthatsportslife@gmail.com. You can also follow us on IG or Twitter at ABTDATSPRTS Life, hashtag ADSL. And if you would like, lastly, you can friend us on Facebook at Ace and Dees in New Jersey. All right, peace.
Kid, I'm from the bottom with the dirt and the burns me. My garden is a jungle, I'm Tarzan in Jersey. Beating on my chest while I'm storming across the concrete. Adidas on my feet, DMC with a rhyme scheme to eliminate all the fake that I've tried to. Test the skills of what happily oblige you. Aggressive in a session, peasant with a message. Destined to lead this belly of this beast with indigestion. Hold up, I'm not your normal, never like to conform you. Throw your monkeys a vine if you trying to swing from my scrotum. I'll be funneling Eve while I'm rolling up leaves. Trying to seduce the serpents, the propaganda with purpose. With volcanic emerging and tall cannon suburban. Couple bogeys and homies is hungry, so they be lurking. Silver backs with silver straps to feed that hungry cub. Roll the bud and try to understand where we coming from.